My name is Noah Nagaishi, and I'm an upcoming junior at Hawaii Baptist Academy. And I applied to PAC-STEP because my school actually emailed all of us about this opportunity. And then my friend Megan, who is here right now, prompted me to do this with her, and I just took the chance and did it. Going into this camp, I really didn't know what it was going to be. So honestly, everything surprised me in this camp, and I just didn't realize how much transportation affected everybody and affected our future as well. My favorite field trip in this camp was probably going to the airport because it was just super cool to see what the new airlines and the terminal look like and how they incorporated Hawaiian symbols and meanings into their architecture and design. Favorite speaker was Mr. Packer because in the intersection tour, he seemed really into it, and he seemed to really like his job, even though he told us that sometimes from the community he gets some backlash. He still enjoyed the job, which I thought was very inspiring. So to future applicants, I would say just go for it and just do it, because I honestly didn't know what I was going into this, and just take a chance and do it because you're going to have a lot of fun and learn a lot of new things.
My name is Catherine Kim from American Samoa in the Pacific. It's one of the Pacific Island, and I'm currently aiming to major in astronautical engineering, and I thought enhancing the knowledge for the civil engineering from PAC-STEP, since civil engineering can be the most basic and fundamental, but it's one of the most important material that we have to sustain in order to learn more engineer programs. So I thought this will be a really good opportunity before I finish my junior summer. I was surprised at the virtual activities to have an improvement on the daily problems that we can it can be happen in not only in Hawaii but also in other Pacific regions. And it was good time for us because we get to know others' opinion at the same time. And although it was a virtual program, the detailed introductions and then worksheets and activities were provided for smooth discussion. And my favorite field trip was bicycle field activity, and because I could see how students, some of them were struggling, but most of them were trying to learn more. And I loved how the teacher was too dedicated and then being really powerful in explanation. I would say apply for it. Apply in your best effort, because this opportunity is not really normal or regular. It's coming for really limited time, especially from this generation where we have to do it in a virtual program. Although it would be a virtual program or might be in person, in both ways it can be your good what do we call it? Well, it can be support your not only in the civil engineering or science, but also how to do the group project, like teamwork. That's also necessary in the other categories of your work. It's applying to everything, every source of your upcoming path. So try your best to apply for this program, and I hope I can see you next year too.
I'm Raquel Fujita, and after the summer I'm going to be a senior at Roosevelt High School. And I applied for PAC-STEP because I've been wanting to pursue engineering since I was young, civil engineering specifically, for some time now, but I never genuinely felt aware of what studying it in college and pursuing a career in it afterwards really entailed. So yeah, I felt a bit lost, I guess. I knew there were so many branches of engineering to explore and learn about, but I was never really given the opportunity to narrow it down until this camp. Yeah, but I didn't know what transportation engineering really was before coming into this, but I thought it could be something I'd enjoy learning, and it is. Overall, I expected it to provide me with a lot, but I didn't think it'd give me as much of an understanding of what I wanted to do in the future as it has regarding the career that I'd like to have in the future after college. I really enjoyed all the field trips. My favorite was probably visiting HART and the rail, because it's something that a lot of people in Hawaii are very eager to see fully functioning, and we could see during the field trip that everything was so neatly and intricately planned to serve the people of Hawaii. And there are so many different engineering careers, but it was really nice to see how all of their careers came together so nicely and how they all seem to enjoy the work that they do for the people of Hawaii. After this camp, I feel a lot more confident in my interests of becoming a civil or transportation engineer. And I could tell my future self that a lot of that interest can be attributed to this camp and what we covered and all of the once-in-a-lifetime experiences that I had before entering college.
Hi, I am Margarita Trulahi, and I decided to join PAC-STEP because I knew I was going to gain information that is hardly given to us students. What surprised me the most is how immense the field of transportation is, and I enjoyed the trip to Eisenberg and King Street most. My favorite speakers are actually Rhea and Poya. To grasp every second of it and hold it, and this is your chance to use whatever you take in for your future ideas.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm going to be a junior at Hawaii Baptist Academy. And I applied for PAC-STEP because I didn't really have anything to do this summer, and I thought this could keep me busy. And since I'm going to be a junior, it's like a good time to start exploring different careers. And I had some interest in engineering, and I thought this camp would be a good way to kind of learn more about the transportation side of engineering. I think the most surprising thing about PAC-STEP was how much I learned in so little of the time that we had together. And all the field trips were great, but I think my favorite was the airport, because every trip we go on, you go to the airport, but you don't really think about how much people work on it to build the terminals and make sure all the planes are running and all the rent-a-car facilities. And I thought it was pretty cool that we could see the new terminal and see the new consolidated rental-car facility. And my favorite speaker would probably be all the panelists in the career panel, because you could see how passionate they are for their jobs, and they're very inspiring. Their answers made me want to consider transportation as a possible career, and they gave great advice that I know will be very helpful in the future. An advice I'd give my future self is, I think when I was applying, I was a little bit hesitant because I didn't really know anything about engineering or transportation in general, so I thought everyone would have some prior knowledge about it. And that actually, I've learned that through this camp, I've learned so much, and it made me really interested about transportation. And when you apply, don't feel like you need to know a lot about the subject, because throughout these weeks I've learned so much more, and I had a really great time.
My name is Francis Valfanua. I'm a sophomore going into junior year at Tafuna High School here in American Samoa. And I applied for PAC-STEP mostly because I wanted to occupy myself during the summer. I had no idea that I would have an interest in engineering. I just saw summer program. I was like, oh, I want it. And then I applied. And then once I was in the summer program, I got to experience engineering firsthand through our talks with different engineering professionals. And I started to develop an interest in engineering. So yeah, that's basically why I joined. And yeah. We went out to the different intersections with him. I got to ask a lot of questions, and he answered every question, which was really interesting. And I was very interested in the different topics that he was discussing, especially because I am a climate change person. I stand for the climate, and I got to ask questions about the climate, and then he had answers that lined up with my interests. So that was my favorite field trip, and he's also my favorite speaker. My other favorite speaker is the one that gave me the $20 gift card. I guess the message that I would want to tell myself in the future, if I manage to get accepted to this program again next year, I would tell myself to not be shy, speak up, and turn on my camera when I'm in the meeting with everyone, and to turn off my mic when I'm not talking. Yeah, that's basically what I would want to tell myself in the future.
I'm Micah. I go to Kaiser High School and I'm going to be a senior. I applied for PAC-STEP because I wanted to expand my horizon on future interests that I want to pursue. What surprised me the most was probably like all the field trips and activities that we got to go to, like the HART and being able to go on the rail and inside the train, stuff like that. My favorite field trip would probably be like the airport when we went to see the new terminal, because I guess I like to go on trips a lot, so seeing like a new terminal would be good. Favorite person would probably be like Mr. Packard, because he seemed like very engaged and into like the intersection and what he wanted to accommodate for future purposes. Or probably say like well, one, I guess like be more involved and don't be shy, I guess. And this is like a great stepping stone for your like future career that you would want to go into. And I don't know, just like trust the process.